Hey guys, John here. This is my first cooking video, and today I'm going to take you through beef and asparagus. Part of this lifestyle change, I'm always trying to find ways to have food that I grew up eating, but in a healthier, lighter fashion than what I used to eat, And growing up, I ate a lot of Chinese food and learned a lot of recipes from my grandmother, but a lot of times Chinese food calls for a lot of oil, and that increases the calorie count a lot. So today we're going to do beef and asparagus. I trimmed my beef with as much of the fat, got as much of it off as I could. I cut my asparagus. So today I have about 4 ounces of beef, 1.5 pounds of asparagus. I'm going to use olive oil instead of canola oil. Olive oil is not traditionally the oil of choice, but it has a little bit better health benefits than canola oil. And the asparagus will help really mask that flavor, so I think we'll be alright. I'm going to be using a non-stick skillet. Please, if you use a non-stick skillet, make sure you use a rubber spatula or a silicone spatula, because you don't really want the flakes from the non-stick skillet going into your body. So protect yourself. Don't use a metal spatula. I hate it when I see people cooking and they're using a metal spatula with a non-stick skillet. It's kind of annoying. So I'm going to add my olive oil to a skillet that's warming up. This being a non-stick skillet, you're not really going to get the wok type of char or flavoring on the beef unless your skillet is extremely hot. So I'm going to try to get this as hot as I can without scorching the oil, because as you know, olive oil can smoke really easily. Now, just to let you know, that was 1 tablespoon of oil. We don't really need a tremendous amount of oil since we're using a non-stick skillet. Okay, I'm going to add my beef now. Now you kind of really want to season your meat. You're going to add a little bit of salt just to the meat so that it has some seasoning in it. I'm going to try to get this browned and a good color on it so that we're good to go. When you're cutting your meat, you really want to try to get it as thin as possible so that the meat can go further in the dish, because generally Chinese food, meat is not the center point or the focal point of the dish. It's just an additive for flavoring, really. But Americans and Westerners alike, we like our meat, so you kind of really want to get a bite of meat in every bite that you take. We're really getting some decent coloring on the meat, which is a good sign. It means that your skillet's hot enough. This meat is about to be done, so I'm gonna get ready to add the asparagus. Okay, you just add the asparagus into the skillet along with your beef. At this point, I'm going to add a little bit of water to help steam the dish to start cooking the asparagus. Because if you just try to saute it, it'll take forever to cook. I'm going to put a lid on top of the skillet to help steam the asparagus because you really want to try to cook it evenly. It'll probably take a grand total of 5 minutes of cooking to cook the asparagus all the way through. With Chinese food, you really want to try to maintain some of that texture with the vegetable. You don't want it super soggy. You want to have a little bit of bite on it. So I'm going to continue to watch this and monitor it to make sure that it doesn't overcook, because if you overcook the asparagus, it kind of ruins the dish. Alright, it's been about 5 minutes. At this point, I'm going to check the asparagus to see if it's still al dente. Yeah? Good. Hot. Now, to finish up, I'm going to add a teaspoon and a half of sesame oil. That's just going to give it that nice Asian flavor. It's going to give the asparagus a gleam. You know, it's going to make it really shiny. It's just going to finish off the dish. I'm going to stir that around, make sure that all of it's coated with a little bit of sesame oil. Man, you should smell this. It smells amazing. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and plate up. Well, you're not going to be able to see me plate it up. So the finished product is there. You know, it's a very big misconception that Chinese food is supposed to be gonna just have tons of sauce, tons of, you know, soy sauce, all that. A lot of Chinese food is just basic. You know, you have a little bit of salt, a little bit of vinegar, and a dash of sesame oil. Sometimes some soy sauce. Not every dish requires soy sauce like you saw here. This was just basically sesame oil, salt, and beef and asparagus. It didn't really require anything that most people don't already have. I mean, it's a 10-minute dish. It took me 15 minutes to prep everything up. I mean, within 30 minutes you have a full meal. Next time I'll probably be doing egg and tomato, so stay tuned for that. Until next time, see you later.